I have to ask, the football today, were you watching?
6-2.
Goal! 6-2 is pretty good. I mean, look, is it coming home? Do you reckon the boys can do it?
Well, put it this way, the girls brought it home, it's time the boys brought it
Yes, precisely.
They could come home to Wales, which is just next door,
exactly.
and then
Let's not
that's
forget.
everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk anyway about your book. This is a memoir, and it's called Playing Under the Piano, and the title is a lovely tribute to your dad, isn't it?
It is. There's two sort of points to it. One is I remember playing under the upright piano in the nursery and being a bit coy about coming out and, performing. But the other reference is, my dad, who was a wonderful pianist. And without realising, I started writing about his journey with dementia in this book. It's mainly a series of stories about working in the business for 35 years. But I think there's a tribute to him in there because he was a wonderful pianist. He was a surgeon, but his great hobby and his great skill was playing the piano, which was a skill that stayed with him right to the end.
It is incredible, and I realised as well quite quickly, like you, I have a sister, and I know how annoying sometimes they can be in real life, but there was a side to you that I didn't think that we would kind of hear about in the book. Something related to your sister that happened.
Well, really, I think anyone who's had an elder sister realises that at some point they need to die and or be killed. And I think I was about 7 or 8, and really, Claire had really annoyed me. Things like sticking out her tongue, which was so unnecessary, or kicking me under the table and getting away with it, and all that. So at one point, I did say to my mum, "I'm going to kill my sister." And she said, "All right, dear, dinner's at 6." And I said, "No, you've got to understand. I'm going to go and dig a grave now." She said, "All right, it's fish fingers. Is that all right?" And so I marched out, and unfortunately, the soil in Blackheath, South East London, was a little hard, but I managed to get about 4 inches down. Anyway, I'm glad to say that I didn't actually follow through, and I love my sister very much.
Yeah.
Oh.
Claire's alive and kicking.
Claire is alive and
day.
kicking me at the table. Yeah.
Now, you talk about, a lot of the jobs you've done in various places all over the world, but you talk very passionately about one of the roles that got away.
Well, there were plenty that got away. So I do talk a lot about auditions, and one of them was for this very low-budget film, and most of my peer group back in the 90s went up for this lead role, and they were seeing everybody in town for the role, and I didn't get that, and then I went up for a smaller one, and eventually I went up for a cameo role, and in the end they didn't give me the part because the director said, we really need actors who know how to hit their marks, who've got camera experience, because I haven't had any camera experience. He said, this is such a tiny budget film, it's got no chance of making its money back, and we need people who know what they're doing. So anyway, the film did quite well in the end, even though it didn't have me in it. It was called 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Yeah.
But you did make it to Notting Hill.
Well, exactly. I did. Yes, that's
which
the.
I prefer.
Good. You see, you say all the right things.
I genuinely agree. I think Notting Hill is still that number one. I mean, we're looking back at it now. Is it still, you look back on things like that and you go, it's so special to be a part of?
Oh, it was. I mean, Notting Hill, I can sort of remember every day very, very vividly because it was my first, decent part in a movie with these two whopping great big movie stars. So what wasn't to like?
Oh. Yeah. I thought it all works out in the end all the time. Now, hang on, we've got to talk about Paddington, right? Because there are rumours that Paddington 3 is coming.
Yeah, well, it's more than a rumour. It's been announced that it's called Paddington in Peru, which I think gives you an element of the plot. I haven't seen the finished version yet, nor do I know if Mr. and Mrs. Brown actually go to Peru with Paddington.
Maybe he must. I mean, he can't go on his own.
That's true. That's a good point. I shall bring that up with the producers. Yes, the Browns have to go.
Yes.
And have several weeks on a sun lounge or somewhere nice. I think that's the idea. But no, it's due to film next year, but we'll see. So it won't be in cinemas, for at least another 18 months after that, I think.
Well, look, we wait with bated breath, but there were so many. It was an amazing scene, wasn't it? Paddington Bears outside Buckingham Palace after the Queen passed away, and now I understand you're working with the Queen Consort to find them the proper home they deserve.
I know, it's a really lovely coda to that extraordinary summer events of not only that wonderful sketch, and then, as you say, all the tributes that were left, and they've all been, all the Paddington Bears have been cleaned up and smartened up, and later this week, the Queen Consort is presenting them to Barnardo's, and I'm going to go and read some stories about Paddington to some of the children, and I'm sure there will be a marmalade sandwich.
Oh, that will be a really special moment then, won't it?
It will be rather lovely, yeah. It will be rather special.
Do you like, Paddington, in terms of how big it has become? I mean, people say that Paddington 2 was the greatest film ever made.
Well, yes, there was that on Rotten Tomatoes, and then someone found a sniffy review in Milwaukee or somewhere, so it was knocked off the top perch.
Just that one review.
Yeah.
One review. Hey, well, look, hopefully some good reviews. You're back on screens this Christmas in a new animation. Tell us about that.
Oh, The Amazing Morris, which is a Terry Pratchett adaptation, and I play the mayor in a town where there's all sorts of skullduggery going on, but it's Emilia Clarke's playing the lead, the vocal lead, as it were, and I haven't seen it yet, so I'm dying to see how mayoral I look.
Well, there we are. That'll be a treat for you this Christmas then. Very nice.
Thoughtful moment.
Well, the book is lovely, Hugh. Hugh's memoir, Playing Under the Piano, From Downton to Darkest Peru, is out now. And The Amazing Morris is in... Is it Maurice or Morris?
Well, I don't know. Depends which side of the Atlantic you're on.
All right.
You
We say it with a little bit of a twang, The Amazing Maurice.
Maurice,
Yes.
Maurice is in cinemas anyway, and available on Sky Cinema from the 16th of December.
Yes, exactly. But first...